Hi, I'm Spenser.
And I'm Britton.
My name is Dan Bones.
Since 2011, Buckethead has released 293 albums in his Pikes series, and we're listening to them
3 at a time.
This is Getting Head.
Welcome, head-getters, trendsetters, bedwetters, Fred Dursters, bratwursters. This is
rockers, hip-hoppers, and everybody else around the world.
Everybody around the world.
Yeah.
This is episode, I think, 57 of 57? I thought it was 58. No, we're on 57?
Pretty sure it's 57.
Pretty sure we're on 58.
Okay.
Yeah, because last week was 57.
All right, episode 50.
Episode 58 of Getting Head of Bucketcast. We have a special guest today.
Yes.
Or regular guest. Up to you.
You know, you can determine your own classification, I suppose. Dan Bones is here.
Yes.
Hello, what's up?
What? Yeah, not much. What did you do to get here? Why are you being punished by being on our podcast? Tell us.
Yeah.
What a great question. I think I just liked a lot, like an inordinate amount of your memes, and we just sort of started up an internet friendship that way.
That's true.
As far as I can
started
tell.
talking about guitar pedals, and then next thing I know, I got a Discord, and I'm just like ranting about rap pedals, and you know, it's just a whole ass vibe.
Yeah, it's a whole ass vibe. I'm into it.
Ass vibe.
So Dan, are you a guitarist as well then?
Yeah. So I'm primarily a bassist. I'm currently the guitarist in the band that I'm playing in right now, which is new and pretty cool. So, you know,
Nice.
newly a guitarist, but I've been playing bass for like 24 years, something like that.
As one
Same,
does.
unfortunately.
Yeah. All right.
Good luck. You're gonna need it.
Yeah.
Tell us tales of teenage bass virginity, Britt. What you got?
You were there with me.
I know.
You were a teenage guitarist virgin. We were different sides of the same shitty coin.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
the yin and the yang.
No, just the yang. The Andrew Yang.
Yeah, I bet he was a teenage bass virgin too.
Yes, well, he seems like he'd play like upright bass in the jazz band.
Oh yeah, something really dorky.
Yeah, like he's not like, he didn't choose to play bass because he like liked the Deftones or something.
He seems like the type of person who got a bass and never picked it up once and just told people he was a bassist.
Yeah,
it was
bass.
It was like
an aesthetic
probably
bass.
a nice bass too. I bet his parents like got him a Rickenbacker and he just never touched it and was like, yeah, I got a Rick.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
And he's like, yeah, this is the same bass that Lemmy uses. Rock on.
Andrew Yang does not know who Lemmy is.
But then he goes like this. Then he's like, rock on, bro.
Rock on. Oh yeah, but do you think he like listens to like Rush? Like what Rickenbacker music?
Rush,
yes, maybe.
Rush. No, Rush for sure.
Because Rickenbacker rock is a very specific type of like prog rock.
I feel like prog rock or like dirty rock. Like it's definitely like it
can be like punky, I guess.
Like greasy LA band rock.
No, it's the theme song to Friends. It's the title. What is it? Is it just like the intro to the show Friends, where one of them has a Rickenbacker for some reason?
What?
Oh,
I've never noticed that.
It's the reason. It's literally the reason I hated Rickenbackers for all of my teenage years was because of Friends.
What if we did a cover of the Friends theme song? We all played Rickenbackers. Like,
I mean, are we all gonna shell out like $2,000 on a bass that isn't? Rickenbackers feel really nice.
Yeah,
I
and
really
they
like
look
the neck
cool.
profile.
They
You know
have
what?
like a cool look.
I passed.
I don't. No.
Yeah, I passed one up pretty recently, and I still think about it all the time. I was in Toronto, which is actually a phenomenal city for musical instruments. It's like nothing but sick guitar stores, and they all have like really, really, really decent prices on things. And I found a 1975 black checkerboard binding Rickenbacker, like 4003. And it was like
nice.
2,000 Canadian dollars. And at the time,
that's not a bad price.
At the time, that was $1,400 US. And I was just like, I don't really have that right now. And then as soon as I got back to the States, I was like, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, that's a whole vibe. I have passed up a lot of cool guitars. Yeah. I've passed up a lot of cool guitars in my time, and I you regret them. Like, what can you do? You know.
I mean, you do, but also like sometimes I've bought like instruments, and I'm like, I didn't need like a ninth bass.
My god, yes. Like my favorite recent, recent. It was like 4 years ago, but my most recent like impulse guitar purchase was like this Squire baritone jazz master, which is a cool guitar. It's 30-inch scale. Yeah, tune it to A standard, super brutal. No. But it's like, I don't need that at all. It's just, I just bought it because I thought it was cool.
Things don't, but at least it provides a new function. Like at some point, I was I'm gonna get like a 6th 4-string fretless bass, and there's no reason for it. Like
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you love a fretless bass.
You do. I do love a fretless bass.
Oh man, I do have a story. I got a story from this past week. I got to tell.
Okay, that's fine.
So I came back to work after quite a few days off. I had some like dental stuff go down, so I had to go to the dentist. The whole thing. I took a few days off of work as a result, and so I was off of work this was like right around my weekend time. So I was off of work for like 6 days straight or something. It was a long time. And then I came back to work, and as soon as I came back to work, every single person that I work with, every single one, made it a point to come up to me and say, "Hey, Spenser, have you seen the new guy that looks exactly like you?"
Yes. Doppel Spenser. I love this.
I'm like, no. And then so like everybody is coming up to me and telling me this, every single person, and it's like a whole thing. It's very exhausting, and I'm like, oh my God. So then I finally see the dude, and like, okay, I do see where they're coming from. Dude does look a lot like me.
Did they hire Langley from the X-Files?
Nice.
Or Geddy Lee.
Shut the fuck up.
Fucking
yes. Anyways,
James Hetfield from the 90s.
So anyways, yes, they hired Geddy Lee.
Okay.
And
good.
So I see this guy around, but here's the thing, he works in like a totally different department than me. Like, I realistically probably never interact with him really unless I make a point to. And so I've seen him around a couple times, but I've never like had a moment to like talk to him. And it's just weird that everybody keeps telling me this guy looks like me, and I'm sure that everybody's telling that guy that he looks like me.
Oh yeah.
And it's just this whole thing. It's so weird.
Do you think if you two fuck, is that technically masturbation? Kind of?
I mean, like, I'm going to say no, but also, like, I like where your head's at.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your head could be up inside of him, and that'd be kind of masturbation, right?
I think there's some uncanny valley. Yeah. Unless it's like your actual clone, it's uncanny valley territory where it's like.
So, yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
I actually completely agree with you, Dan. I do think that it is like an uncanny valley sort of thing, because that's been my experience seeing this guy at work. Like in passing, when I've seen him, I'm like, and it just makes me feel weird, and I just like want to run away. Like, I don't know, it's terrible. I don't like that this guy looks like me.
That sounds like a crush to me, Spenser.
Shut up, Rick. That's not how it works.
You're gonna start like negging him and making fun of him.
Oh man, yeah. You should smile more, man.
Yeah, you should try to use like pickup artist shit on your doppelganger.
When everybody's wearing masks, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? I can hear it in your voice, man. That you're not saying it with a smile on your face. I can just tell.
See it in your eyes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, totally. So that's been my life, just avoiding this guy at work that looks like me, and trying to just, exist. It's been a whole thing. Britt, what's been up with you?
I don't know.
You drugged me out to the fucking Hard Rock Cafe last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sucked. The Hard Rock Cafe.
Yeah, the Hard Rock Cafe fucking sucks. Hey, Dan, have you ever been to a Hard Rock Cafe?
God, only when I was like a teenager, and I just did not know any better. You know, it was just like, oh, this is just another place that I've never been to before. You know?
Yeah, it's just a really expensive chain restaurant.
Yeah,
yes,
it's incredibly expensive.
It is incredibly expensive.
What did you get for food? What? Yeah, like what?
We didn't get any food. No,
just get drinks.
We eventually got Dick's Burgers.
Yeah, we went and got French fries and burgers, but we just went there because I don't know why. Brit said we needed to go there.
Yeah, because we've been talking about getting drunk at like this place called The Rock Pizza.
Mm-hmm. It's The Rock wood-fired pizza.
Yeah, The Rock wood-fired pizza, where every pizza is like named after a classic rock song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's real dumb. Like
it's really dumb.
I love the idea of it though. They've got drinks named after like songs and people and stuff, and it's very dumb.
But like the closest ones they have now near us are like way in the boony suburbs,
so
where
far
we don't
away.
want to go. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just go to another shitty place with the word rock in it.
Because rock, right? Like real
Andrew Yang, baby.
Andrew Yang, rock and roll. That's what we're doing.
I still
Andrew Yang, sweet poontang. You know what I'm saying, baby?
I still
Andrew Yang, pooty tang.
Andrew Wang Dang Sweet Poontang by fucking Ted Nugent.
Yep.
Yeah.
I still genuinely regret that I never made it to Guy Fieri's spot in Manhattan when I lived in New York and when that was still open.
I did. I went there while I was on vacation.
What?
Was it
was
sick?
fine.
Was it like super
I don't
fun?
remember
fine.
this story.
I have pictures and shit.
Wow.
I'm wearing like purple pants, I think, or something.
Of course you're wearing purple
This
pants.
was like probably 7 years ago, something like that. It was a while
That
ago.
rules.
I mean, the restaurant closed like 3 or 4 years ago, I want to say.
Yeah.
But it was there for like a decade, from like the mid 2000s to like the mid 2010s. You know?
I had a pretty good rule of I will not go into Manhattan unless I'm getting paid. So unless I was going to work, I just refused to go to Manhattan when I lived there for like 12 years.
We're what part of the city were you?
I was in Brooklyn. I was like back and forth between
That's nice. I like Brooklyn.
Bed-Stuy and Greenpoint just for like 12 years.
Fair.
Yeah, it was great. But I never made it to Guy Fieri's, and now I have regrets.
Yeah, well, I mean, he still has a ton of restaurants all over the place.
You're not wrong, yeah.
They're just not his Manhattan one.
Yeah. All right, the dream is still alive then.
You know what we should do, Spencer? We should take a road trip and just go to like different celebrities' restaurants. Like go to the LAX has like 3 brew pubs that are owned by Gene Simmons.
Oh no!
And then go to Las Vegas to go to Toby Keith's I Love This Bar and Grill, I think is the name of the restaurant.
Whoa.
Okay.
Toby Keith's I Love This Bar and Grill.
Damn.
So he loves the bar and grill. Why doesn't he marry it?
Good question. I think he's already married to something else. I bet he fucks the bar and grill though on the side.
Oh yeah,
I bet that's
yeah.
a side bitch. Yeah.
Sidebar, side grill.
Yeah.
That sucks.
That does.
The joke is stupid.
That was very stupid.
All right. Well, let's kick things off, okay?
Yeah.
Let's get into the thick of it. Britt, can you hit us with a bucket
I
fact?
would love to hit you with a bucket fact.
Bucket fact, 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 bucket fact,
Bucket fact.
Although Buckethead has toured with many bands before, today we're going to talk about how Buckethead tours his solo music.
Okay.
So, although we've seen many shows where Buckethead is playing guitar or bass to nothing but backup tracks, Buckethead has toured his solo music with a lot of different combinations of musicians. He didn't play solo up until 1996 when he formed his first solo band, which was him on guitar and occasionally bass, Brain, also known as Brian Mantilla, on the drums, and then a keyboardist who he really never worked with again after the the mid 90s, named Pete Scataro, who wrote the main theme for the TV show The Practice.
Okay.
Which I couldn't tell you what that is.
Yeah, I don't know that theme song off the top of my head, but that's a funny thing to be connected to this.
Oddly, it was on a lot of like lists for like the top like 50 or top 100 TV themes ever, and I was like, I don't remember the practice as a show or a theme. For
yeah,
it
me
at all.
either. Not at all.
Right?
No recollection.
So he toured with them for a while, and then in 1998, when he was around San Francisco a lot, he formed his second band, which he called Giant Robot 2, as his first band was called the Giant Robot Band. And he used this band pretty much specifically for touring the album Colma in 1998. And that was comprised of Buckethead, only on guitar, not playing bass, a turntablist named DJ Disc, who appeared on a couple of his bands.
Rocks.
A bassist named Louie, who...
Louis?
I could not find any fucking information about this guy other than there was a bassist for this entire tour named Louis.
Is that like Sting?
Maybe he wore a maybe he wore a sweater that reminded people of like King Louis the 14th, and so they called him Louis.
Yeah, that
like
sounds
Sting.
likely. Yeah, for sure.
Maybe. So with this band, the Giant Robot 2 band, Buckethead would play intermittent shows up until 2004. Of course, during this time is the time he was in Guns N' Roses, so he was contractually obligated to play mostly with them.
Guns N' Roses is a big, like, you can't do the rock fist correctly kind of band. Mm-hmm. They're one of those bands where, people do the Spider-Man. I call this the Spider-Man. If you're listening to it, I'm making, like, the horns, but I'm not crossing my two middle fingers with my thumb, so I'm doing, like, the Spider-Man. And when people do the Spider-Man, that's how you know that they're lame, right?
What?
Like,
no, that's how you know they're... Andrew Yang does the Spider-Man.
It's like the
Sweet Poontang.
This, but yeah, like the webs. All right, I get it.
Yeah, you get it. You're shooting webs, and we all know that shooting webs, right? It's a metaphor for masturbation.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Right?
I mean, I also masturbate like this, although I do use a thumb, so I guess it's more rock on. It's really hard with just the two fingers.
Imagine
to get grip strength there. It's really difficult.
Imagine listening to like Black Label Society and jerking yourself off by doing the horns like that.
Spencer, we don't have to imagine on this podcast. We can do that right now.
Well, we can't. We'd get kicked
together
off of
as friends.
We would get kicked off of Twitch.
Anyway,
sure.
After 2004, the Giant Robot 2 band disbanded. Buckethead didn't really play any shows until 2006, in which he played some one-off shows with Pinchface, former drummer of the Giant Robot 2 band, and the Deli Creeps, and also Dan Monty.
Daniel Monty.
After 2006, we go into what I will call Buckethead's true solo era, where he pretty much only ever played with backing tracks, and the only other times he would have musicians on stage is during like one-off things. He would invite weird musicians from cities that he knew to come up on stage with him. I found one where he was playing with like an electronic harp player. I found one where he was playing with a mandolin player.
Okay.
Like he would just do one-off stuff, but there was no one permanently touring with him for almost 8 years, from 2008 to 2016, for the entirety of his 2008 Albino Slug Tour, the 2009 tour, 2011 tour, 2011 Look Up the Underground Chamber tour, 2012 tour, and his 2016 North American tour. After this, in 2017, he would form a band that he would call Bucket, Brain, and Brewer. Brewer referring to L. Brewer, which is Dan Monty's pseudonym. So it was Brian Mantilla on drums, Dan Monty on bass, and Buckethead on guitar.
This is the densest Bucket fact.
It's cool.
There's so much information here. I love it.
I'm learning so much.
So they all toured together for just pretty much 2017 and part of his 2018 North American tour, although most of that he played entirely solo. And then his most recent tour, he played occasionally with Dan Monty, usually closing the show with Dan Monty singing, with Buckethead playing guitar, a rendition of Backstreet Boys' I Want It That Way.
That sounds awesome. I wanna see that.
No, there's several videos online.
Okay.
Yeah, and so, when he starts touring again, who knows if he'll be with anybody. But it doesn't really matter, because as long as Big B's there, that's a concert in itself.
Bucket Facts.
I already know I'm not going to like it, but I'm Googling it anyway. I want to see that Backstreet Boys cover.
Yeah.
It's
something.
Yeah, no,
I'm something.
Yeah, it's really something. So before we get into talking about the record, Dan, can we ask you, what's your knowledge and exposure to who Buckethead is? Like, what do you know about
All
it?
right, so I actually have a fun Buckethead story for you that I was saving.
Oh, do tell.
Specifically for tonight when we could do this.
Amazing.
So,
oh well, now my interest is piqued.
All right, so 1999. I am 16.
Year of the Matrix.
I'm 16. Yes. I'm like 15 or 16 years old. I'm a sophomore in high school, and I am in central Massachusetts, and there is a tour, or not like a tour. There's like a big festival put on every year called Loco Bazooka. Not Lollapalooza. It's Loco Bazooka. It's put on by WAAF, which is the radio station out of Boston. It's Shooting Web's radio for sure. It's 100%
Hell yeah.
Shooting Web radio.
Glass and ropes,
yep.
Shooting Webs.
Fucking.
This is KUM.
Yeah.
KUMM.
So this is what I had growing up, but they would do this festival every year. And the year that I went, one of the years that I went, Primus played. So I got
hell
yeah. A 16-year-old bassist going to see Primus, just fucking amazing.
You got motherfucking Les Claypool, didn't you?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Les Claypool as fuck.
Fuck. Damn.
Yeah.
I hate that
slaps.
I hate that that's going to come out of my mouth in my everyday life at some point now that you
like we talked about this like 6 months ago, and it comes up
all the time.
Almost every conversation we have.
Yeah, almost every conversation
it's an unfortunate reality of
I give it less than a full day before I say that in real life and embarrass the fuck out of my fuck. All right, so
beautiful.
So Primus is playing. I'm fucking stoked. It's great. I couldn't tell you what they played. I barely remember. The one thing that I really do remember for the show is at one point, Les Claypool introduces Buckethead and brings him on stage. And it was Les Claypool, and I want to say that his whole thing was he was like, he ain't alive, but he ain't dead. Something. Some
folks just call him
Buckethead. Yep. That was it. Right.
Yep.
Dude comes out on stage. This is the first time I've ever actually heard of Buckethead. I'd never seen him before. So fucking seeing this dude live blows my mind. And it's just him, and I want to say it was Brain playing drums in 99, but like my Primus facts are a little iffy.
100% was Brain playing drums.
Cool.
Primus facts.
Tim Alexander, I don't think came back till 2001 or something like that.
Okay, yeah. So
yeah, but
so
I hate that.
Rips it solo.
You're so Les Claypool.
these are like buried Primus facts that I should know and don't.
Hell yeah.
So Buckethead rips the solo. It's like totally wild. Everyone's just like, what the fuck is happening? And then while Brain is still playing drums, puts guitar down and takes out a set of nunchucks.
Hell yes, he
does. And does a full-on like nunchuck routine. And then that's it. Walks off stage, and Primus gets back to it. And I was just like, what the fuck did I just watch? That was so sick. And it was the coolest. It was actually like really, really sick.
Yeah. I mean, there's still videos of that out there, and it's incredible. I mean, it's a great way to just put someone over immediately and just make fans of your music go like, who the fuck was that? Yeah. I got to check that out. You know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. Anyways, we listened to 3 Buckethead albums today. Look at that.
Pike 172, 173, 174. Or sorry, was it 171? No, yeah, 172, 173, 174.
Yep.
It's going to be Crest of the Hill, The Blob, and Last House on Slunk Street, respectively. Pike 172, Crest of the Hill. Released on September 19th, 2015, just 2 days after the previous Pike.
Wow.
It goes, took my homework.
Look at that. 2 fucking days. It's wild, man.
This was a pretty cool pike. What, being that this was your very first pike, we assume.
Yeah.
What
Making big assumptions here.
What was your first impression?
Yeah,
so,
tell us.
Yeah, no, this is my first pike. Honestly, this is the first time that I've really been like, okay, let's deep dive Buckethead. How many albums we got? Where are we at? And like, I was terrified to find out how many of these there are.
So I am continually terrified because I'm one of the people who updates his discography Wikipedia.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And it is a truly mind-bending nightmare situation to like just wake up one day and realize you have to redo like an hour's worth of math.
Yeah, that is just so much unpaid labor on your part. Oh my god!
It really is. I mean, there's one of the big themes of our podcast is unpaid labor from Brit. It's something that I'm really proud of, actually. But realistically, like, what I'm terrified of is that, like, we're going to be doing this fucking podcast forever. We're never going to get to end this because we're going to keep fucking putting out these goddamn albums. And then, we're going to do it forever.
Yeah. When I say I'm a slave to metal, I mean that pretty literally. Like,
I can see that.
I don't get paid for my labor towards metal.
This is true.
I don't have a choice.
Yeah, we got ourselves into this, and now we're over halfway through the Pikes now, which is
so far. Question mark.
Yeah,
but now he's releasing one like every other week.
Yeah,
and so
this is true.
Oh no! I mean, we're getting real close to having to do 100 episodes, and when we started, we only had to do 94.
Yeah. I mean, but that would be cool if we could make it like a cool 100. Yeah, pretty nice.
There is nothing cool about this podcast, Spenser.
That's a good point.
No matter how even of a number we can possibly get, there's not going to ever be anything cool about it.
But I mean, episode 69 is coming up, though.
That's nice.
Which we're doing nice.
Although now fucking Elon Musk is trying to meme that shit. So
no, he got something.
I can throw that off of...
Hate him.
He got something.
Anyway.
No.
Pike 172, Crest of the Hill. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Groovy metal.
Yeah.
Lots of proggy stuff.
Some really interesting riffs.
Honestly, like some actually kind of unique stuff that I haven't really heard him do this kind of like crunchy, groovy,
like raw.
Yeah, it's
weird.
groovy but raw in metal. I don't know. Like he's doing some different stuff on this than he usually does. And then, the first 3 tracks are really cool, upbeat, shreddy. And then the last track is just fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Really, really nice.
I think
nice, just solo guitar.
I think this might have been the one that stuck with me the most of the 3. Just because
Fair.
all the guitar synth on it is so sick. He's got so many weird effects going on in it, and he like uses them really well. Because
he does. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely like one of his real strengths is being able to use his whammy pedal and his Line 6 FM4 in conjunction. And he makes some cool shit with both those things. Some just like really neat stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Really neat stuff. Yeah, I liked some of the riffs here a lot. I think they're really weird. The production's really minimalist too. It's just guitar and drums. Like that's it. There's just one guitar track in a lot of the songs.
And it's nice because we're back to like the natural sounding drums.
Yes.
Like for the past like dozen or so Pikes, he's mixed it up with these electronic drum samples that kind of get old.
They do kind of get old. That's true.
This was pretty sick though. Like
it was pretty sick.
Lots of cool ideas. Lots of proggy stuff. He played around with tempos a good bit. Played around with time signatures a good bit. It was like it definitely was very thought out, and definitely wasn't like a plug and play, just like soloing over backing tracks Pike like we get occasionally. I'm surprised he put this one out 2 days after the previous Pike because. It feels like this is an album that would have taken a couple weeks to do.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, I think it feels really well planned out. It doesn't feel like I just like ripped this together in 2 days on a fucking bender or whatever. I don't know how he writes, but I can't imagine it.
Makes me wonder, like, if if Buckethead does stuff on benders, like, what do you think he,
Diet Coke.
You think it's just Diet Coke?
I think it's just he just pounds
I think Diet Coke,
DC's,
also
baby.
Coffee. I think he might be a big coffee drinker.
I can see that.
You think so?
Yeah.
I could see that,
I think he might be a big coffee guy.
Or maybe he does like decaf coffee, but he just drinks a fucking lot of it, so you still get all wired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, could be one of those guys too.
Yeah, I see some. I don't know. I get a lot of Adderall vibes from it. Like just the sheer output of it. Like, how do you output this much? Like, how do you complete this many projects? Like, it's fine to start this many projects. Like, I get that, but how do you actually complete them?
Everybody wants to start a new project.
Yeah.
It's like that meme of like smiling guy and then frowning guy, and it's like starting a new band, and then it's like working on the bands that you already have. That's the whole thing.
That's it. That's the duality of being a musician.
Yeah. That's it.
Never wanting to work on your established music. Yeah. Only wanting to just do new and fun. And
that's like making the band name and the band logo is usually the most fun part about being in a band. So.
Speaking of band names and band logos, Dan, can we talk about the band that you're playing with, or is that not okay?
We can talk about one of the bands that I'm playing in. The other one, I don't know what I'm not playing in another band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like that.
Right, okay.
It's there's a bunch of people that I know that are playing in a band, but I don't know who any of them are. They're just snake boys.
This is the most cryptic bullshit.
I know.
Obviously, you two have some insider knowledge, and I'm just the dumbass over here. Like, what the fuck are you going on about? Like,
no, there's
You just said like 30 platitudes and all of them meant nothing.
It's a weird sort of cryptic thing. Yeah, I'm not supposed to talk about.
That's okay.
Maybe being or not being in a band, or who is and who isn't in a band. It's a secret members sort of thing, and Lord knows what they may or may not have asked me because.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Is it one of those secretive like bands like Drutka where you don't know anybody in the band, or I don't know, like Ghost, and you just play shitty music?
Oh yeah. I get some big Ghost vibes from this. Yeah, definitely.
It's if all right, I'm just gonna come out and say it. I fucking hate Ghost. I can't do it. I've never been able to do it.
This is an anti-ghost podcast.
This is an anti-ghost safe space, all right?
Yeah.
So, like,
yeah.
I decided, the community around my meme page and everything decided definitively a few months ago that Papa John is more goth than Papa Emeritus, and therefore...
Although, I don't know if you heard, he is no longer Papa Emeritus.
What?
He's like Colonel something now.
Oh, whatever.
He changed his character. Mm-hmm. Apparently, Papa Emeritus was only his character up till like 2018 or something. So he changed his character, and he's just another guy now.
So
but he still is a shitty vocalist.
Oh yeah,
very shitty.
It's the sort of thing where like they really
range.
They sing about heavy metal. But they are like a smooth rock band. They're 100% just like a very chill, smooth rock band. Like how Tom Petty sang about rock and roll, but was also like a light FM kind of artist.
Yeah.
Also, controversial take. So many people I know fucking love Tom Petty, and I'm just like, rest in peace, Tom. Not a fan.
So Tom Petty, I think, was a very good songwriter, but that dude was not a good vocalist at all. Bad vocalist, not a great performer. Like,
just overall garbage. I
mean, no, he was really good at songwriting. Like, straight up, like that was his talent, and maybe he should have just written songs for other people. Cause, like, I don't know, fucking yeah, I heard that song. I was in a grocery store the other day, and "Don't Come Around Here No More" came on.
Yeah. He doesn't want people coming.
And that's what I was thinking. I was like, "What? There's got to be a weird story behind this." Like, Just like,
don't you dare come over here and come, okay?
I bet he was like having band practice, and his bassist just like went and jerked one off in the sink, but didn't like flush it down properly, or tried to flush it down with the cold water, so it like gummed up real bad.
Stuck to the side of the sink.
And like Tom Petty goes in to like wash his face, and he like fills up the sink, and like he's like, "Oh my god, it's cum!" And
he's like, firstly, you're out of the band. Secondly, I wrote a song about it.
Yeah. Get it at top. Bop.
Well, no. To your earlier point, though, I maybe got a bit of a talking to about mentioning who or who was not in this band, which is why I'm like, oh, okay, now I'm gonna get yelled at if I keep it up.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, the band we're talking about in question obviously is Ghost. You know, we can't share the names of the members of Ghost.
Yes.
We can only talk shit about the band.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Who knows? Maybe Papa John is in Ghost. I mean, maybe everybody in Ghost is a Papa of sorts. We just don't know. We got a Papa Murphy. We got a Papa John. We got a Papa.
The one thing I will say about Ghost is that
Papa Smurf.
If nobody knows who is or isn't in your band, it means that you can treat it more like theater, and you can have understudies, and that means that you don't need
true.
all of your band members to be able to make a tour or not. You can have like 2 bassists or 4 guitarists, and you can have.
Do you want to hear?
Like, this is the MF Doom principle.
Do you want to hear? You know, one of my most unpopular takes.
Yeah,
No.
hell yeah.
I would say that. I would say any band. Any band member can be replaced at any point for any band, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, why
really depends.
Why hide it? You know?
No.
Yeah. So I'm specifically referring to like stringed instrument players.
Kind of.
You know,
sometimes but try to replace Buckethead in any of the bands he's been in.
Well, that's a little different.
There are a couple
that's
guitarists who could maybe, but no one who plays quite like them. The only person I've heard actually like do a great impression of Buckethead's playing,
Bumblefoot.
Yep. I swear to God, Bumblefoot is actually amazing. It's just I don't like him.
He's weird. He's got a foot fetish, and it's uncomfortable that he brings that into his music.
Yeah,
I think it's weird. He's the Quentin Tarantino of like shred guitar.
Yeah.
No, I'm
and I don't mean that in a flattering way.
I'll take your word for it, and I'm just gonna listen to anything else. I think. You know.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I mean, have you ever listened to Chinese Democracy, Dan?
I never got around to it. You know, it's been on my list to be like, you should, for a lark, listen to it.
It's all right.
I don't know.
For a laugh, yeah. I mean, for the culture, you know, it's probably worth listening to. Mm-hmm. But you know, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's there.
It is there.
But Bumblefoot's on that album, and he does a lot of parts, I think, that were supposed to initially be played by Buckethead.
I mean, okay, yeah,
he was definitely the guy that was brought in to be like the replacement, like super lead guitarist, basically.
We love a super lead guitarist, never mind, I forgot his name. I was gonna make a joke about, like a Dave Navarro. There you go. That's a super lead guitarist if I've ever heard it. That dude lives Mas.
I mean,
that dude is Taco Bell incarnate.
And he was on fucking Red Hot Chili Peppers' worst album, which is saying something.
It does say something.
Like, there is one Red Hot Chili Peppers album that's objectively the worst, but they're all fucking dog shit. I prefer my California to not be in song form. Thank you very much. California's fine as a state. We don't need it to be a musical genre.
So you're saying you get enough Californication in your life that you don't need to masturbate.
I'm a California virgin, thank you very much. I'm California pure.
So you California masturbate, though, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm a California impotent, so
I did.
Has your California performance suffered? You know,
if you're California, it's hard for more than 4 hours. Okay, enough of that. On to Pike.
Well, no, wait, hold on. Before we finish up here, so for each of the Pikes, so like we like to imagine that each of these albums represents something. Or is it the soundtrack to something in Buckethead Land, the imaginary theme park for Buckethead? So for this record here, what do we think this would be a good soundtrack to? What like event or attraction or
Event Horizon
in Buckethead Land do you think this would be a good soundtrack to? Britt, you got anything?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty sick Pike overall. Has a lot of unique ideas, lots of cool shredding. It's pretty adventurous. I think it'd go to a cool neon roller coaster.
And what's a neon roller coaster?
It's a roller coaster with neon. What do you think?
This is one of those indoor roller coasters. This is for sure.
Yeah. Like Space Mountain type thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with lots of neon. But they're not neon lights. It's just raw neon, the material, and it's like ground
gas.
up. Yeah, so like everyone goes and gets like cancer and shit.
Yeah, I love cancer in my roller coasters. That's great. I would say this would be a good soundtrack to like a water balloon fight area if they did something like that, because that seems stupid. What's a fun thing is like balloons that are not shaped like normal balloons, like long ones, like long wiggly boys,
like ones that you could shape into animals.
Balloon animal balloons.
Yeah, there we go.
What do you think is the coolest balloon animal, folks?
Penis. Penis.
That's not a balloon. That's a
penis.
A penis is an animal.
Yeah,
that's a component
but
to
penis.
I want to say giraffe, but I think that's the most basic answer you can come up with.
No. The most basic
Giraffe
one is definitely
good.
Dog. Giraffe has the long neck, which is
it's fun. It's more aesthetic.
Definitely more advanced. Definitely, I like giraffe. Giraffe's good.
Okay, tier list balloon animals.
Yeah.
I would say giraffe is S tier.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd say giraffe is A tier. I don't know about S.
I think you could do
what do
better.
you think is S tier?
What if you made a scorpion? That'd be fucking tight.
Ooh, that's
scorpion?
S tier. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's S tier. Pretty much any Pokemon is going to be an S tier.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Take
That's
some
true.
skills. Take some skills. Some cool shit going on there.
Yeah. Anything with a big dick also S tier.
What is up with your balloon dick situation here?
Well, like maybe we'll get to it.
How could you not get there?
I don't want to. I'm just asking, what the fuck, dude?
Okay, so bottom of the list, balloon
it's
animals.
more of a rhetorical, what the fuck.
Yeah.
Dog
is
dog
dumb.
shit. Fuck
gonna-
dog.
Like a bone. I think a bone looks stupid.
That's not an animal. So how about like obviously snakes and worms are fucking low effort.
I was gonna say tapeworm.
Yeah.
Oh, a tapeworm's different.
Let's take all the air out of it.
You have to shove the balloon down or up someo's ass or something to make it like truly a tapeworm.
Yeah, that's true. That's why it's my least favorite.
To be a part
it's
of
just way too involved.
Okay, fair enough.
No.
Yeah. You gotta set aside time for that. You gotta have like a room somewhere, and tarp. You gotta like really prepare.
That'll get you kicked out of a Brass Again show.
Yeah, exactly.
or a Target.
Yeah.
I prefer. Target stockroom is my place.
Nice.
Ballooning down.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
Anyway, Pike 173.
All right.
The Blob.
This one was
Released on September 24th, 2015, just 5 days after Crest of the Hill.
a 5-day job. I mean, this one was probably my favorite Pike this week.
I
like
cool.
this one. It's super metal, which I thought was fun. There's like some death metal-y vibes in that first song for sure. And it's just like, it's got really heavy riffs on it, which I think is pretty cool.
What I really like it a lot because it like showcases a lot of different types of metal. It's like him just like playing all of the metal genres in one album. And it's pretty sick. It's an absolute metal clinic.
Metal Clinic.
Metal Clinic. And I love the track listing on here. It's 6 tracks. We got...
Yeah. Oh, the track listing is really
Blob
good.
enters the room. Blob digs a hole. Blob goes upstairs. Blob finds ancient scroll. Blob gets drink of water. And Blob goes to sleep.
Blob gets a boner looking at his stepsister's underwear.
This is just...
Whoa, what are you doing, Step Blob?
That's the name of the episode.
No.
Yeah. No, I like this one. I thought it was fun. There's some really fun riffs on it, and I think that like the previous one also has some really fun riffs, but this one I feel like is a little bit more produced. Like there's a little bit more going on, and as far as the production goes, there's a lot more like layered riffs, and there's more shredding.
Much bigger drums. much bigger drums.
Bigger drums.
Yeah,
yes,
really
for
big
sure.
drums. The drums
For
sounded
sure.
really good on this album.
Yeah.
For sure.
They sounded.
Yeah.
I mean, they sound like fake drums, but they also sounded huge, which I think is cool.
Yeah. I mean, but they sound like really good 2015 fake drums.
I'm not.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not against fake drums, especially if you lean into it and you're just like, no, this is not what drums ever sound like, but it's what I'm making them sound like, and they're just going to sound huge.
That's how you get. That's how you get some really interesting music. It's like a lot of the IDM stuff that I really like. They're making weird percussion into like. Yeah, weird sounds into percussion and things like that.
What does that stand for, Spenser?
Intelligent dance music.
Yes, it does.
How very smart of you.
Yes. You have to have a pretty high IQ to understand it, bud.
And you got to be able to dance.
Ooh, that's such a good put down is to be like, you're not smart enough to understand Aphex Twin, bruh. Like, imagine saying that, like, in seriousness on Reddit.
You can't even name 3 albums
in the bathroom.
on Joyrex Records. You've never listened to anything on Braindance. You don't have a favorite Square Pusher album.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
See, Dan.
Yep.
Yeah, we
we've
all been there.
Teens in the same kind of ish.
Anyway, going back to Pike 173.
Idea.
The
Blob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love the Blob.
First song was a pretty sick and this is something I don't think he's really done before, but it was like an industrial metal song for the most part.
Well, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, it reminded me of
Fear Factory a little bit.
Fear Factory, or I was gonna say 90s Ministry, but yeah, for sure. It was pretty cool. Definitely very heavy industrial drums. Really cool riffing. Second track, cool proggy metal song. Blob digs a hole. What kind of hole do you think he digs?
The track listing really feels like a D&D campaign sort of thing, or what is that old?
Yeah.
Was that old
really
old computer game where it was just just all text based kind of role playing kind of games,
I know the one that you're talking about. Are you talking about Zork or something?
It's so far removed from my brain right now that I can't remember what it is. All right, I'm actually gonna try to.
I think a text-based Buckethead video game would be pretty tight.
That sounds kind of fun.
Would be really sweet.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Something you could play on a Texas Instruments TI-83.
Yeah, calculator rock.
I love a calculator game.
Yeah, we do. We love to see a calculator flash to run Doom. You love seeing Doom run on anything, but Doom running on a calculator, that's
if you could run tight. Doom on anything, what would you try to run it on?
Pregnancy test.
If you're trying to run Doom on a pregnancy test, the test is negative.
I hate how quickly you had that
100% of the time.
I don't know why. That was just that was on my brain. I just had it ready to go.
Yeah, I mean they just ported Skyrim to pregnancy tests. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's this year's re-release. That's nice. Yeah, 20th anniversary, baby. Or 10th anniversary.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah, maybe y'all virgins have had sex by now. Here's Skyrim on new platforms. Love to see it.
I'm gonna fire up some of this Buckethead in the background. I'm hoping it doesn't interfere. You guys can't hear that, can you?
No.
Okay, good. Just making sure. All right.
Sick.
Nice.
Because I listened to all this stuff yesterday, and now I'm like, all right, I need a little refresher while we're going through it. Yeah.
Nice.
I think one of my favorite songs on this album, besides the first one, Blob Enters a Room, is number 4, Blob Finds Ancient Scroll, which is just a sick-ass speed metal song.
Yeah.
Definitely
that song's pretty tight. It reminded me of Running Wild a little bit.
Yeah, a little Running Wildy, a little 90s, early 90s Megadeth-y.
Oh, this is early 90s, or no, sorry, late 90s Megadeth is big this energy, big Spider-Man energy.
Oh, I never bothered.
Late 90s Megadeth.
I just that's the door I've never unlocked.
Euthanasia.
Euthanasia's type.
Like
That's
94,
not. That's mid 90s. That's mid 90s.
That's 97.
No,
what? No, that was Risk was 97.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Was that one? Yeah. That's the one with the picture on the cover with the garden or whatever.
Isn't that the one that has a song called Moto Psycho?
Oh yeah.
Oh, is that a cover? Because Moto Psycho.
Really?
That's not by Megadeth, is it?
No, Motorcycle. I know what you're talking about. Anyways, yeah, a Risk is a fucking nonsense bullshit album that actually we're going to talk about on this podcast at some point. Okay. Foreshadowing. Foreskin shadowing.
The shadowing on foreskin when you're sketching is so goddamn difficult, dude. I just usually circumcise it.
Dan, as an artist, can you tell us about drawing foreskin?
Can I tell you about drawing foreskin?
What are your thoughts?
Sure. Well, hold up. Have you ever tattooed foreskin?
I've never tattooed foreskin. I've always maintained that if I'm going to do a dick tattoo, that I've got, a fairly hefty handling fee. And I've gotten the phone calls, I've gotten the emails, and no one's ever followed through.
Nice.
I mean, if you really want to interview someone about this shit, I've got a friend of mine that I can send your way. He's got stories for fucking days about dick tattoo.
Yeah, I mean, so I know a guy who has his tattoo, his penis not only heavily tattooed, but pierced. Last time I checked, like 40 something times.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So that's heavy.
It's pretty cool.
It's heavy.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's heavy. Like the dick is probably heavy.
You can't
it's a lot to lug around.
Yeah, he's carrying around fucking
Good for him. More. Who am I to judge? That's great.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Live and let live.
Pierce and let hang.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the Blob.
The Blob.
Speaking of heavily tattooed and pierced penises, the Blob.
the Blob gets his penis heavily tattooed and pierced. That's the bonus track.
I feel like I failed you. It's like the one tattoo question I've gotten this whole thing, and I'm just like, nope, sorry.
Do you have a good tattoo story?
I have a good tattoo story. Man.
A good tattoo? That is...
I know. It was a softball.
That's the shittiest interview question.
Softball,
That's a shitty softball, man.
I got a client that I was doing a big full leg sleeve on years ago when I still lived in New York, when I was still working at Eastside Inc. And...
I'm sorry, leg sleeve? Isn't it called a pant leg?
It is now. So I did like a full pant leg on this guy. Good. Ass to ankle pant leg on this guy. Big dragon.
Nice.
And he was great. I actually really like working with this guy, but we just called him Naked Carl. And Naked Carl would ride his Ducati to the shop, show up an hour early for his appointment, knowing fully well that I was not ready for him. Walk in the door, immediately take his shirt off, and just plop down on the couch in the front of the shop and just hang.
Love it.
And
nice.
Our shop assistant would be like, "You really don't need to take your shirt off right now," and he'd just be like, "Oh, I run hot." Love Carl.
That's the best answer.
Oh yeah,
that's a good answer.
So
yeah. Does that mean he was on meth?
No, Carl was fucking great. He was so funny. Every time he came in, he's like his
name was Carl?
Yeah.
And he ran hot, so he was Hot Carl.
Hot Carl.
Ooh,
well, he was Naked Carl.
Naked Hot Carl.
I'm not using his real name, by the way, just in case anyone is. I mean, whatever.
His name was Just in Case.
Wow, that is interesting.
So he would basically, as soon as I would call him back, he would immediately take his pants off, and he would just have like a jock strap on. And just to paint you a full picture, he's an incredibly buff 60-year-old man, fit 60-year-old man. And the first words out of his mouth every single session was, "I can take the jock strap off." And it was just like, "I'm never going to need you to do that." You
don't need to. Yeah. You leave it on.
So he would just have his jock strap, and he would have like a pair of Nikes on, and that was it. And he would just like really let the whole room know that he was there. And
this is
great energy.
This is big old bottom energy.
And me and every other single person that worked at the shop has seen Carl's asshole so many times. over the course of me working on him, just rolling him around on a table. And anytime I'd be like, hey, let me take a break, let me go grab a sip of water, he would just always get up, wander around to somebody else's station and just be like, hey, what are you working on? What's going on? As naked as he could possibly get.
Well, yeah, you gotta air out your dong.
Yeah, you gotta
snake breathe,
Love
baby.
him.
Let that snake breathe, baby.
But yeah, our shop assistant showed up. So she would like book him in for appointments. So she knew when Carl was going to be in, and it was always like the busiest Saturday where there's 10 artists, 10 clients, a whole thing. And
the whole thing,
it
definitely is a whole thing.
And it got to the point that I would show up to the shop, and my entire station would just be walled off with shoji screens because nobody wanted to deal with naked Carl anymore. Like it was like funny for everyone the first couple times, and then after a while, everyone was like, I can't do what I need to do while accidentally looking at this man's asshole. Like it doesn't work for me anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I've said that before in real life. You know, it's just sometimes you gotta establish,
which is
those
weird
boundaries.
because you work on the Geek Squad.
Oh, I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway,
I'll wrap it up. And he when we finished this sleep, it was like 10 sessions. It was like a long, big, complicated test. It was a lot of work. Yeah. And everything is healed, and like a month goes by after I'm done tattooing him, and he just texts me a bunch of nudes. Straight up like sends me nudes, and it's just like, tattoo healed up, great, thanks again. And I'm just like, fucking Carl.
This poor old lonely bottom.
I guarantee you he is not a lonely man. He just is. He knows what he's doing, and you don't
have to be alone. Oh, wait,
you don't have to be lonely to be alone.
To be alone. I don't.
You don't have to be alone to be lonely. Yeah, something.
Yeah. One of those things. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds like a line from the Friends theme.
A little bit. Can you say that back in a Rickenbacker?
Anyways, Pike 173. Right. What do we think that would be a good soundtrack to?
I think it goes to like a sled themed ride, right?
like Slednecks, like that show about rednecks in Alaska.
But instead of like bobsledding, it's blob sweating. No,
blob. Whoa,
blob sledding. Blob sledding.
The Jamaican blobsled team.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
I bet you do.
Uncool Runnings.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, Uncool Runnings is definitely the name of this episode.
Fool Runnings.
No, Uncool.
I think Blob as a ride is just like one of the like haunted house rides where you're in the car that just kind of moves real slow and stuff pops out and scares you.
So like the haunted mansion
but
at Disney.
It's not a haunted mansion. It's just like a factory where they make something really weird. I don't know.
Oh, they make like fucking gack, like Nickelodeon gack.
like a slime factory,
just,
slime.
Yeah.
That's what I call my balls.
Oh, nice,
the slime factory.
Me too. That's what I also call your balls.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're the recipient.
It's just the Disneyland break room. It's just a ride that goes through the break room. It's just costumes off,
exactly,
just misery, just pure fucking misery.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's gotta be. The dude, like the bathroom at the furry convention. There's got to be so many dudes like holding their balls underneath the like air thing, like, trying to dry them out.
Right. I mean, like, imagine.
Do you think they make fursuits with like fans built in? They've got to.
Oh yeah, they do definitely.
They definitely do.
There's some very professional ones with like actual like recurrent cooling systems and shit like that. It's nuts.
So like water cooling or like how are we cooling?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's a water cooling.
So
thing,
you're saying
it's
that
just air circulation.
There could be furries in the next Dune movie. Because it sounds like you're saying there could be furries in the next movie.
What are Fremen if not just desert furries? Like,
I mean, they're not exactly furries. They're more like sandworm furries.
Oh yeah,
they're
like
Shai-Hulud furries.
They're snakes. They're
Also, let's talk about the Shai-Hulud. That has something to do with a vor fetish, right? Frank Herbert definitely he wanted to get it swallowed up by a giant worm, yeah?
Probably.
If you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Big, uncircumcised cock.
Whoa.
That's what they are,
Whoa.
right? Like,
I mean, sure.
Because, I mean, Like, you know, my smegma is basically spice. Like, I can see the future when I snort it.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that.
So,
Yeah.
heard that. You've experienced it, bro.
Yeah.
Pike 174, Last House on Slunk Street, released on September 26th, 2015, just 2 days after the Blob.
2 days.
2 days. I'm surprised this is a 2-day album because there was a lot going on.
There is a lot going on here. Yeah, there's
It's
a lot of
16
shredding.
fucking tracks.
16 tracks, and
so we're not going to go one by one because
Yeah.
they're all kind of different variations on the same thing of
Mm-hmm.
hey, I wonder how much I can shred and do like furious riffage between like shred sessions.
Shred Sessions.
Yeah, which was cool.
Shred Sessions is like Jeff Sessions, like Cool Son.
Oh yeah, it's just like, hey old man, your legislation's stupid as fuck. Oh wait, and then he goes, yeah, meow,
Yeah, yeah,
meow.
yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
so Slunk Street is a recurring theme, yeah?
Yes. So a slunk is a pile of dead cows.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that later.
Huh.
We'll talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
and that was it was
there's
first introduced, I
there's
think, in Slunk.
Let's talk about it in the
Crime
Bucket Void. Let's save that. There's a comment about it.
This is stuff we know from many albums past.
I know.
This is
We're
this
gonna
is
talk about
knowledge
it more later.
We have. I liked the track listing on here. It's all weird stuff like what's on the end of that fork, and
Oh yeah, what
the
is
mop's got something on it, and
doormat does.
doormat with hole underneath,
Oh my god,
which makes me
that's
think.
filthy.
Well, is it like a floor glory hole, a flory hole?
I do love.
Like imagine that.
I do really love that all of his song titles, when you put them all together, they're just incredibly like brief short stories. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
they are.
just the most
for sure.
austere short story ever. I love it.
Yes. We also have Unplugged Refrigerator,
Mhm.
which is good for nothing, much like this podcast.
It's true.
Wrapping Up Something, which I like to believe is a condom song about him wrapping it up.
You gotta don't be a fool. Wrap your tool.
Yeah, it's the condom song.
Yeah.
Clothesline with Stuff Hanging on It, song about drying clothing. That's pretty cool, huh?
That's pretty metal. Drying clothing is pretty metal.
Is there any? What genre of metal is line drying clothes though?
That's a great fucking question. I would say prog metal.
I'd say it's like funky prog metal, like early Living Colour.
I don't know. I think this is like some like folk metal kind of shit. You're line drying clothes.
Okay.
You're in the woods.
Like this,
Yeah.
some
That's a good point. Yeah,
Corpacalani.
you're
Yeah, I
out
guess
in the
this
you're
is-
out in the like
I could definitely dry clothes to like Corpacalani. That makes
yeah,
sense
for
to me.
sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Eluvetti,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that kind of shit.
Yeah. This is fantasy metal for sure. There's no washing machines in fantasy metal. Yeah.
That's
That was it.
true. They all have to
Yeah.
wash their shit in like rivers.
Well, yeah, unless you're using, unless you're like just like line drying like reusable diapers, in which case that's more like a Burzum type metal.
Huh. Okay.
Are you implying that Varg Vikernes has a diaper fetish? Because I think you might be right.
I'm implying he is a poopy boy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can get down with
that's
that.
true. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, come fight us, Varg.
Yeah,
I dare you.
Fuck you, Varg. Piece of shit.
Yeah, fuck you, Varg. Piece
Yeah.
of shit.
fucking paleo fascist doofus.
Oh my god! I had a conversation with
Fuck
someone
yeah.
yesterday who was like, "Yeah, I get that he's like bad, but like I love his music." And I was like, "How?
No.
How do you
What?
even like?
No.
What is there to like?" I don't know.
Yeah, there's
No.
and also there's like 10,000 bands that sound like that.
I
So
know.
If like
Yeah,
you want
you
to
can
hear
do
music
better.
like that,
Yeah.
just listen to a different band. Like
Just
there's
fucking
people who have
make
done
it
better.
yourself. Just do it yourself.
just
It's
make-
something
yeah.
hard.
Like
Dungeon
Christ.
synth is so easy to make.
Yeah.
That's why every fucking black metal band is just like 5 dungeon synth projects
Oh my God.
that
Yeah.
happen to play together.
Just-
Oh
Just-
wow. Yeah.
Find one moment
Yeah,
that you didn't
that's
get a
true.
hug from your dad and just write a song about it. Jesus Christ, it's not that hard to do versions. It fucking sucks.
Right?
For fucking real.
For
yeah,
fuck's
this is an
sake.
anti-Burzum safe space
Yes,
here.
absolutely.
Fuck you, Varg.
Yeah, fuck you, Varg.
Anyway, back to Last House on Slunk Street.
Indeed.
Very fun, very thrashy, lots of
Yeah.
staccato stuff.
Yep.
scratchy. One thing I really liked that he did on here quite a bit is he would just like kind of drop out and do just guitar and drum parts, and he'd do like this cool like funky guitar scratching and slapping thing.
Yeah,
it was really cool. I like those parts a lot. Yeah.
Slapping on guitar is one of those things that like I'm not sure if I get it, but I think it's cool. Like
I
it's
feel
like
the same about
it's
slapping on bass.
fair.
No, wait, it's not cool.
Well, that's the thing. Is it's cool in the right context, and the context is soul, Motown, and funk. Like outside of that, just you don't need to do it. It's fine.
I mean, there's some like yacht rock and stuff where it fits too, like fucking Steel and Dan's
like
Peg.
pop, and just there's a lot of like '80s pop, that I can throw on
true.
too. You know what I want to do, and I just had this idea
and
now.
Also themes for Seinfeld.
So
that's a keyboard.
Exactly.
That's not a bass.
But it's slap bass samples.
So here's the thing.
Right,
Can I lay something on you guys? I have an idea, and this is what I want to do. I want to start a grindcore band where it's guitar, bass, and drums, but the bass is all the Seinfeld slap bass sample, and that's what all the bass is done. It's like programmed, and then there's guitar and drums, but it's just like raw grindcore outside of that.
Okay, I mean there is a band called Grindfeld. They don't do that. But
see, but I want to do that, which I think is a more fun take on it. I think it's better.
So is it a bassist or is it a keyboardist just playing?
Well, it's a keyboard. Mm-hmm. Yeah, somebody's playing a keyboard.
Oh, here's my idea: grindcore band, but all of the musicians are just keyboardists playing samples of the instrument that
that's actually kind of fun. Well, I could like sample like the Doom soundtrack and play guitar that sounds like that.
That'd be sick as hell.
We'll play a keyboard that sounds like that, and then there will be like slap bass keyboard, and then just blast beats.
Yeah,
just fucking blast beats, screaming. Great. I'm gonna make that. I'll get back to you guys.
Yeah,
be good. Be good. Yeah.
Speaking of get back, let's get back to Last House on Slunk Street.
You're desperately trying to keep us on track here.
I really am. I mean, we're like at an hour now. Yeah,
it's okay. It's okay.
I'm the one who edits this. All right, I'm making my life easier.
That's fair. That's fair. Lots of shredding on this one. I do. There's some like really impressive and fast shredding on this. A lot of it.
Okay, actually. So one thing I will say about it. I mean, obviously there's fucking shredding on it. That's just, I mean, come on. But it feels really cohesive musically. Like all the all the backing tracks on it like feel really like tight. They feel really tied together.
Yeah.
It doesn't just feel like, I just needed something to fit behind this. It's like, oh no, there's some thought that went into like how these all fit together and like,
right. Which like really blows me away that he presumably put together the 16-track album in 2 days.
2 days.
Yeah,
it's pretty wild.
And
like I believe that he could do it.
Yeah,
but it's still wild. I still like to see that. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, there's some like
I imagine just him and Dan Monty just like railing Ritalin.
That's what I'm saying. This is fucking Adderall music for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting. What do you think would be a soundtrack to?
I actually didn't write anything down here.
I got something.
Yeah, what do you got?
This is the guitar store in Buckethead Land. This is just the sound of somebody shredding in the guitar store.
So it is the sound of somebody shredding, and I actually thought of this earlier, but it's the sound of someone shredding because it goes to the pulled pork and Cuban sandwiches restaurant.
Interesting.
They're shredding meats.
Okay, wow. I'm glad that we're all kind of on the same page because my thought was that this is just the gift shop.
Yeah.
All right.
There
okay.
You go.
Well, I said the same thing, except at Buckethead Land, the only gifts are sandwiches and shredded meat. So, does that make sense?
I guess. You can make up whatever you want, bro.
Hey, the world is yours, baby.
The world is yours. What? The world is yours. So now, would y'all like to go on a journey with me?
Sure.
No, not really.
Well, you're locked in, Brit, so cue the song.
Fine.
Statements from the Bucket Boy.
Oh my God. Oh my God. We're here. This is the part of the show where we just, shine a light into YouTube and we look at those comments and we talk about them. That's it. I'm not going to give an elaborate explanation here. But yeah, we there's a lot of bucket warriors out there, just dropping that bucket content. YouTube user Sam Castilleja says 2 years ago, "This is some dope fly slamming bee."
Yeah. Yeah, Dope Fly sounds like a new metal band.
Yeah, it does. Well, I mean, Dope is a new metal.
Soulfly.
Yeah, and Soulfly
There we
to
go.
a later extent. Yeah. Just some fun stuff. We like that. This YouTube user Assassin Potates with a comment that truly makes no sense to me. Hopefully y'all can help me decipher it. 3 years ago says, "Never knew you could make a song with farting and cutting papers." I don't know what cutting papers are. I know what farting is. I've heard of it.
What's
but
that?
I've heard of it. It's
What? Can you explain?
it's when you like take a big breath and then you go.
Oh,
like
the
that.
butt breath.
Yeah.
The butt breath. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In cutting papers, more like cutting cheese.
Hey.
Right, everybody? No.
Yeah. I don't know what cutting papers is though. That's a weird thing. I don't know if y'all know or not. Anyways, YouTube user Philo says 6 years ago, "This is crazy. How come his hand does not fall off?"
Is that because he's playing guitar so fast or masturbating furiously?
Yeah, that's a really good question. That's a question for Cum Corner.
That's a great question for
that's a
Cum
great
Corner.
question for
Cum
Cum
Corner's
Corner.
leaking.
I feel like if you wind up in Buckethead land on YouTube, you are probably fucking ripped. So none of these comments really surprise me.
No.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of ripped, we'll get to ripped certainly. This is an interesting comment for a few reasons. Graham68KTM says 1 year ago, "Takes some crazy skills to noodle like that." I read it like that because there's 2 spaces between every single fucking word in this comment. What is happening? I have no idea.
Do you think by noodle they mean the guitars from The Offspring?
They definitely are talking about the guitars from The Offspring.
Excellent. Okay.
Like
good.
anytime anyone name drops Noodle or Noodles, they're always talking about Noodles from The Offspring.
Or are they
Somebody-
talking about noodles from the Gorillas? Because there's also a noodles in the Gorillas.
Oh, that's
I
true.
forgot about that.
But that's a fake noodles. That's an NFT.
Get the
noodles.
fuck out.
Oh
of
yeah,
here.
it's very NFT. Yes.
Noodles fungible token.
That's what it stands for.
It is.
Well, I posted some shit about Noodles from The Offspring on Instagram, like maybe last year, and this girl sent me a message, and she had like drawn a picture of Noodles, like a very accurate picture, and like sent that to me. And it was it's pretty cool, pretty good.
Cool.
We love to see that
Very
Offspring content.
Thanks, Offspring. Very cool.
Thanks, Offspring. Very cool.
Pretty fly
speaking
for a white guy.
Yes. Speaking of pretty fly, YouTube user Bloom the Jew
Whoa,
says,
I don't know what that means.
me either. Doesn't sound okay.
Is that a name or a verb? What are we doing here?
Are you like making like a French sauce out of the Jew? Are you using them like a roux?
Oh my
Are you
God.
blooming the Jew like flour in order to?
Shut up, Brit. YouTube user Bloom the Jew says 6 years ago, "What the word slunks means. English is not my first language." And then 3 years later, someone responded. Nathan McMonigal says 3 years ago, "Little late on the response, but it's actually in reference to cattle that is considered too young to slaughter." Which is dark.
Yeah, and furthermore, it actually references like stillborn calf fetuses as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's weird.
pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Pretty weird.
But that's like the most
next-
came from a farm name you can think up, like,
Yeah,
who else
that's
would-
true. Big farm energy, yeah.
if you're in a laboratory, you're calling things names with like 8 syllables, and these motherfuckers are finding
true.
dead baby cows and just going, slunk.
Yep.
Yeah.
True that. Love it.
And okay, this next comment here. Here's the thing. I've looked at a lot of Buckethead YouTube comments, and the vast majority of them very positive. There are some negative comments, but they're very rarely like extremely negative. They're usually just like a little negative. But this is the first, I think, in my history of looking at these to see a truly negative comment. Are you ready for this? This is going to be shocking, okay?
Do it.
YouTube user Jesus Lowe says 6 years ago, Buckethead sucks. No coordination, just speed.
Motherfucker got ratioed. 29 comments, no likes.
Yeah.
That's
it turned into a giant thread there.
Yeah.
Not much of that was interesting.
Nobody appreciated that.
Nobody
Jesus
liked that.
LO.
Nobody liked that. No.
Do you think that stands for Jesus Light Orchestra? Like
Yes, JLO.
No. Is that what JLo stands for?
Yes, Jesus Light Orchestra. That's correct.
Or is it the Jennifer Light Orchestra? Because that's JLo, right? Jennifer.
Well, that's how she got her start. She was a fly girl in Electric Light Orchestra. Everyone knows.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
That makes sense. Yeah, that tracks.
Electric Living, or I can't do this. All right, just
Yeah.
keep
Or
going.
color.
That's okay.
Too many words.
That's okay.
We follow.
That's okay.
Yeah.
YouTube user Church of the Cathode Ray says 6 years ago, I'm an old constant stoner, so I understand the thinking is different. Do normal people also see the actual dimensional holes this guy is ripping into an alternate reality? That's a really good question, man.
I mean, one thing we can be sure of is Buckethead is ripping lots of holes with that big bucket dick.
Bucket dick.
Fucking wrecking dimensional holes.
Yeah.
All over LA, baby.
All over, baby. Well, this comment had a few responses, and we're gonna check in with a couple of those, all from the same person. They left a series of responses. No one responded to them, but they responded quite a few times to themselves.
Yes.
So we'll talk about that. John Rocks says 4 years ago, so 2 years after that original post, and says, Church of the Cathode Ray, fuck man, let me see it. And that's how it started. That's how it started. Kept going though. John
2 years
Rocks.
after the original comment. Yeah.
2 years after the original comment. 4 years ago, I totally got drawn into another dimension XY. Unknown. And then
Wow.
It says unowned.
unown.
unowned.
Oh, you're right. Unown. Unown.
Which is really playing tricks on my brain.
and then finally, John Rocks. What magnets?
How do they work?
Just what magnets? I love that he went from like, yeah, let me see that dimensional rip, to then just magnets.
This is like fucking like every line they gave Lieutenant Barclay on TNG.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like when talking to Geordi. Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
What magnets? What magnets? Pretty good.
I'm gonna revisit these albums when I'm ripped out of my skull.
Yeah.
Buckethead is definitely listened to best when you're just fucking stoned.
Yeah. I would say that's probably right.
Mm-hmm.
So then we're gonna drop into a little subsection of this part of the show that I like to call Cum Corner.
Getting horny, massive boner. Let's get into the Cum Corner.
These are the horniest bucket comments that I could find this week. We'll start things off with YouTube user Faisal Kanena. 6 years ago says, I really wish he combined them into 3 or 4 tracks. Every time I listen to an amazing track, I keep going, fuck, I wanted it to be longer.
That's the feedback I get a lot of times too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Faisal, you are projecting, sir.
Yeah. He wants his own
3 or 4 tracks, more like 3 or 4 inches, baby.
Exactly. And then, so we only had 2 Cum Corner comments this week, but the next one is possibly the king of Cum Corner.
Oh wow, the king of Cum Corner.
Yeah. Okay. YouTube user Deely Zovich says 6 years ago, yeah, heavy stuff. I like Equestrian Statue because of its mellowness, and not to mention, I used to be an MLP fan, so this song is cool.
An MLP fan. You know,
My Little Pony.
They mean a My Little Pony fetishist.
Yes, they definitely jerked off onto pony statues.
All clops are bastards.
Wow. You're not wrong. It's just like you can't name drop My Little Pony and not be a sex pervert. Like there's just no way. Like only sex perverts like that show. Prove me wrong.
I mean, little girls like it too. They're just not sex perverts yet.
Well,
they need to be
the only adult men who watch that show are sex perverts.
Yeah, true.
And like little girls don't listen to Buckethead, but adult men who are sex perverts apparently listen to Buckethead.
There are some little girls that like that message we got, and that guy said that there were like 16-year-old girls at a Buckethead concert. Like
that's
a
true.
Group of
that's
friends.
True. Yeah, that's true.
Which I was like, what?
Okay, here's the thing. Can you prove little girls like My Little Pony? Because I've never met one that does. It might.
That's a fair point.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Either perverts or like maybe developmentally challenged. It's kind of also in there, a little bit, but a
little bit, yeah.
Actual like children watching this. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe I'll amend that to weird old men and also weird old men masquerading as little girls.
Wow, I thought you were going to say weird old men masturbating.
So they're still in the demographic as far as like advertising goes.
Oh, okay. Are either of you into Poppy at all? Do either of you listen to Poppy?
I've never listened to Poppy, but I've heard about it.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure what it is though.
Poppy. Well, you're talking about George H.W. Bush. Yes, I'm very into Poppy.
No, Poppy.
that was his nickname.
Poppy's wild as fuck. It's I don't even know where to begin describing Poppy. The best thing that I could say to actually get you into it is that a ripper guitar player named Chris Griotti wrote and produced a lot of her last album, which is her like heavy metal album, and it's pretty tight.
Oh, you know what? No, that actually came on like my Spotify the other day, and I heard it. And I was like,
very
this
weird.
Is interesting. Yeah. So it's like a female vocalist, but like, and almost like I want to say like the vocals are kind of like pop, but like the backing tracks are like metal, and like symphonic metal or something like that.
It's like weird, like. It's not easy to describe. And before she did that album, she did another one that was just like pure on like dream pop. But so a friend of mine is a general manager at a venue in New York, and she had Poppy in for a night, was completely blown away by it. And the next time Poppy came to town, she was like, I got a ticket for you and drink tickets. Fucking get to this show. I just show up. And Poppy was out of her fucking mind. It was actually one of the funnest shows I've ever been to.
Wow,
she's
nice.
Kind of a weird lunatic, and it's very hard to describe, but it's really fun to watch. But the reason I bring it up is because the majority of a Poppy crowd at a Poppy show, at least especially when she was doing this like dream pop kind of album, is like teenage girls. You know, like that's it. It's like the majority of the crowd there were like younger women that were into that kind of thing. And then in the back of the room are just older men by themselves.
You know what they came for? They didn't come for Poppy. They came for Cloppy.
It's just
shut up.
You know? It's just that that's same demographic. It's just like, oh fuck yeah, there's the My Little Pony dudes. Yep, they just
yeah, pretty good.
Sick.
Love
to see it.
Speaking of love to see it, we're gonna drop in with our friend Jordan Vine real quick.
Master of the ship key, a bucket bot divine. No mentor extraordinary. It's time for Jordan Vine.
Our favorite YouTube commenter is so ridiculous. We made him a theme song. It's pretty good.
We made him 3 theme songs.
Yeah, we made him 3 theme songs. Yeah. Britt, do you want to read this one?
Sure, why not?
I'm going to put it up on the screen here. Okay. This is Jordan Vine 3 years ago.
Okay. Jordan Vine says 3 years ago to one like.
No other human being, alive or dead, who plays this incredible instrument is better than Buckethead,
ellipsis, 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 ellipsis. No one! Ellipsis, ellipsis, ellipsis. No one at all! Ellipsis, 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 ellipsis. No one whatsoever!
Yes, thanks, Brett. Is Bret Hart a wrestler?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The greatest of all time.
Bret the Hitman.
The best there ever was, and the best there ever will be.
I'm glad that you're saying that, because
Bret the Hitman Hart.
The next Jordan Vine comment.
Yes! Yes!
Okay.
Yes!
Okay.
Yes! Yes, sorry.
Brit, okay, I'm gonna read Jordan Vine's part, and then will you read the next comment for me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Jordan Vine says 4 years ago, the best there is, there ever was, and ever will be.
Phil 666 says 2 years later, Bret Hart wants his line back. Bret, spelled wrong, Hart want his line back.
Want
his line back.
Want.
Yeah, but that was the catchphrase he used, and
Wow.
he was really one of the best wrestlers of all time.
Okay.
Really a phenomenal wrestler. If anyone wants to get into wrestling, one of the best matches ever is Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, Survivor Series 1996. Steve Austin, it's a tap out match. Steve Austin loses because he passes out from the pain, and he's just like fucking covered in blood. It's definitely seen as like kind of the beginning of the Attitude Era of wrestling that was dominated by like, Steve Austin, The Rock, Mankind, folks like that.
Okay.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's
match,
heavy
though.
stuff.
Amazing match.
Would you?
So we have oh, go ahead.
Would you say that Bret Hart is like the Dale Earnhardt of wrestling?
Yeah. He's like,
Wow.
there's
Okay.
nothing incredibly special about him. He is just the greatest, like, average wrestler of all time, I guess. Like, he's not a high flyer or anything. He's just technically amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, watching him, like, he's always, like, 2 steps ahead of whatever the other person's doing. It's really fascinating to watch him. Dude was an incredible performer.
Nice.
Yeah.
We love to see it.
But then Bill Goldberg ended his career by giving him a concussion so bad that a piece of his skull fell out of his head.
That fucking sucks. So we have 2 statements from the Britain Void to close out today.
Do we?
And so what this is just an excerpt of, Brit and I conversations that we've had in the past.
Yeah.
Don't you dare do it. Don't play the song. Don't do it.
I won't. I'll just edit it into the podcast like I do every single week, Spencer.
I hate this. Anyways, so we're actually going to go way back here. We're going to go all the way back to 2010, specifically January 2nd, 2010.
Almost 12 years ago.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a story behind this one, so I got to explain it a little bit. This is an email that you sent me because you had posted a Craigslist post looking for musicians to play music with.
Okay.
And as part of your Craigslist post, which unfortunately I do not have the Craigslist post, but I do have the 4 questions that you required every applicant to answer.
Oh, yes.
And we're going to talk about that because I really feel like it's a great snapshot of what life was
interesting.
in January 2nd, 2010. So anyways, these are the 4 questions. Question number 1, Star Trek or Star Wars? Why? Question number 2, what's your favorite Vonnegut novel?
Interesting.
Question number 3, do you prefer vaporizers with whips or bag systems? Why? And question number 4, and arguably the best of all of the 4 questions, who is the wisest of wizards?
That's a great fucking question.
Shout out to this guy who had bad answers for all of them, but answered that question, Merlin.
Not great.
Which it's amazing that you were asking people those questions in 2010. That's very you in 2010. Like
100%.
If you had to like nail you down to 4 things, Star Trek, wizards, weed, and Vonnegut are like pretty much
Oddly
all
enough,
the things.
So I ended up, based on that post, I ended up playing. I play guitar or bass. No, I played bass and sang for a black metal band.
Mm-hmm.
Oh right,
yeah,
I forgot about that. Yeah, that was a thing you did.
And like the guy who played guitar was he was like an English doctoral candidate.
They always are.
So he was really into
The
volleying
black
at
metal
them.
dudes are always the fucking like academic virgins.
No.
Like, always.
Not the black metal band I played in, but okay.
Okay, well, no. So I take that back. There's two types of black metal dudes. There's the academic virgin, and then there's like PBR pizza war metal dirtbag. Like those are the only two types of black metal people.
There's two types of black metal people: guys who wear arm spikes, who are cool, and the ones who don't aren't cool.
Nice.
Like fucking. There's like guys who wear arm spikes and then bands like Acre Cock, like fucking ugly dudes wearing suits and playing Parker Flies.
So weird.
Yeah.
Love to see it. Speaking of wearing suits, the last one of these for today. This is an excerpt from a conversation you and I, Brit, had on February 19th of 2020. I texted you and said, quote, "I want to start my own version of Anonymous, but we wear Tony Levin masks." To which you responded, "Antifa? No, we're anti-4-4."
That is such a fucking prog rock joke, and I hate it.
Statements from the
Hey, now, here we are. We're to the part of our show where we recommend things to each other. It can be, guess what? Fucking anything.
It really can.
You can. I have recommended public masturbation.
You have.
Twice
Wait, what?
now. One of them was public masturbation onto cops.
Oh, I don't remember that. But
That was
okay.
this podcast, right?
Wait, what?
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, we can recommend each other anything. Britt, do you have something to
Interesting.
recommend to us?
I certainly do. I have an album to recommend, and I usually don't recommend music, but I've been listening to this album lately, and it is so fantastic. It's by a band called Parcels, and the album is called Day/Night. The best way I can describe it, it is modern yacht rock. 100% yacht rock.
Okay.
It sounds something like Squeeze with a little bit of Steely Dan and some latter-day Doobie Brothers, but then a huge influence from like the Bee Gees 80s stuff. And like everyone in the band sings and they all harmonize really well. The fucking bassist is super funky. They have two keyboardists, one who plays like a piano and then the other plays like usually like an electric piano. And God, they are just really fucking good.
Nice.
Like really awesome modern yacht rock. The band is Parcels. Album is Day/Night.
Okay.
Highly recommend.
Okay.
Love
Highly
it.
recommend.
Love it. Hey, Dan, do you have anything you'd like to recommend?
Oh God, this is
Like
one of those questions
anything at
that's
all?
going to haunt me for the rest of the night. I'm going to be up at 4 a.m. going, "Fuck, I should have recommended that instead."
Sure. Yeah, that's just par for the course, man.
Yeah. All right. Well,
It's always like that.
I've got a recommendation just because it came up in conversation recently. Are you guys into action movies? Are you like old action movies fans?
Oh,
hell yeah.
Huge and old action.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So there's one that I never saw until like maybe a couple of years ago and was like, how the fuck did I miss this movie? This is incredible. Have either of you seen The Long Kiss Goodnight?
I have not, no.
I have not, I don't think.
Okay. The Long Kiss Goodnight is Gina Davis and Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay.
And
Right.
Nice.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
good-
what
that's
a
good-
cast.
yeah, that's a good
the
cast.
premise
Yeah.
Is this 90s, I'm guessing? Early
this
90s?
was,
Yeah.
I just
For
pulled it up
Gina
on my
Davis,
phone, so
Samuel
I didn't
Jackson?
say the wrong thing. It was like 96. Yeah.
Okay, because I mean, both those actors have been around since the 80s.
For sure.
Yeah, so this is post Cutthroat Island.
But
Gina
pre
Davis.
Mace Windu, Samuel
Yeah,
Jackson.
indeed. Yeah.
But it's also like
Proto-Windu.
it's post. So it's like it's post Speed, it's post Twister, it's post Jurassic Park. So there's all these like other
Post Die Hard.
It's
too.
post,
yeah,
for sure. It's post Die Hard 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Post Die Hard Clarity.
Yeah. God damn it. That's good.
That's the name of the episode. God damn it.
It's fucking great. It's mega
That's
dumb,
awesome.
which is all I ever want an action movie to
love.
be. Is fucking
So I
stupid as
remember
shit.
the cover to that now.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson actually has hair and a mustache on that shit, right?
I don't remember. I think he had.
And he's
I think
wearing
he
like
had
a
hair.
leather jacket.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So I had a similar experience with when I rewatched The River Wild recently. I don't know if you've seen that, but
no.
that's an excellent dumb action
Sick.
movie. I
Okay.
highly recommend it. I recommended it on this podcast a few weeks ago. You should check that out. But that's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
There's just a really incredible scene of Gina Davis on ice skates with a sniper rifle. It's just
That rocks so hard.
There's so many moments in
I
that
love
movie
that
that are
so
just
much.
like, I don't know why the fuck this is in this movie, but it's so tight. Yeah,
For
it's great.
fucking real, that slaps. I love that.
100%.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
Sick.
my recommendation.
And now we come to the final recommendation,
Indeed.
which will be the topic for next week's special episode.
Indeed.
So what do you got to recommend, Spencer?
Britt, I am doing this purely to make you suffer, and also because this is going to be a great discussion.
You know, Spencer, we suffer. But
We-
why?
That's a great fucking question. We make ourselves suffer.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm going to recommend Britt. I don't actually recommend this to our listeners, but I recommend that Britt specifically listen to the 1999 8th studio album by the American heavy metal band Megadeth. It is named Risk,
Okay.
and we are going to discuss it in detail.
It's interesting
next week.
because I believe I listened to this full album while researching a podcast we were kind of putting together a while ago.
yeah.
Because it was one of the few Megadeth albums I just had never heard.
Same, yeah.
I mean, well, actually,
yeah.
I take
I
that
had
back.
avoided it
I,
for a
I
long
haven't
time.
I haven't heard anything they've done after 2000. But
Interesting. We'll
I
have
don't
to do
think,
that.
at
We'll have
least.
to cover that stuff as
Yeah.
well. But I listened to this. So you brought it up to me actually, like a few months ago. It was like maybe about 8 months ago. It was before I moved into this place, and I went ahead and listened to it. And oh my god, there's so much to talk about with
Yeah.
that record. And I bugged you for a long
it's
time
not
to listen
a
to
bad
it.
record. It's
Oh,
interesting.
it is a
I
bad
don't
record.
think so. It's not a Megadeth. It's not a good Megadeth record. It's an interesting record though.
It is
if
interesting.
if you
but like,
paint it in like the songwriting of anyone but Dave Mustaine, because if I'm not mistaken, that's one of the few albums where he actually like wanted to do a collaborative process and he actually let the other people like do parts,
interesting.
which gives it a very different flavor from like pure Mustaine albums.
It's definitely got a different flavor, let me tell you.
Yeah.
But I've got some thoughts about it. It's very interesting. Interesting is a good word for it. It's interesting to hear Dave Mustaine try to make like a arena rock, I guess. It's really weird, but it's really something else. I'm excited to listen to that with you.
Yeah.
We're going to do that next week. It's going to be pretty good.
Hell yeah.
Is it time for my favorite part of the show?
I suppose it is.
Bucket joke. Bucket joke.
Ha 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 ha! Bucket joke. Bucket joke.
This is where I tell jokes.
You're underselling it.
My optometrist says I worry too much about third eye blind. But you know what they say, malpractice makes perfect.
Wow.
That's so much better than the house jokes.
What do New York's public housing and Fleetwood Mac have in common?
I don't know.
Well, they both went through an unreal amount of bricks in the 1970s. Do you think the unhollowed echoes of Seth Putnam's tortured screams throughout the halls of hell sound any worse than his vocals on Anal Cunt? This week, rapper Young Dolph, born Adolph Robert Thornton Jr., was shot and killed this week. In crazier news, his mom named him Adolph.
Whoa.
Why did the illiterate stand-up comedian fail? He couldn't read the room.
Okay, all right. Okay. All right.
That's pretty good.
Why are a couple of horse saddles so important?
Why?
Well, because they're paramount.
Yeah, fuck you, Britt.
That's the reaction I want. Yeah, tell me to shut up. I don't want laughs.
Yeah. That sucked.
Why
like
does
that.
Joe Rogan only use Apple products?
Why?
Because he doesn't give a fuck about being PC.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay, that was better than I expected.
Did you hear about this in the news? Recently it was revealed that 2012 hit Gundam Style was an industry plant by the CIA. Did y'all hear about this? Yeah, it was a psy-op.
Hey, all right, okay.
Why was the car with brand new wheels never driven again?
Why?
Well, because it was retired.
Mhm.
Retired.
Yep.
You don't have to explain it. I mean, we all got it. We all got it.
But what do Buckethead on tour and Spenser meeting a new stranger on the bus have in common?
I don't know.
Well, they're both roadhead.
Wow.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow. So I just suck off strangers on the bus, huh, Brit? Okay. I like this narrative you've created of me. Tell me what else I do in this narrative, Brit.
I don't know. Next week I can do just Spenser on the bus jokes if you want.
That sounds pretty good, actually.
Bus fares rising. Wages aren't keeping
That's
up.
true. You got.
I'll finish out with this one. What do long beards have in common with getting a blowjob after drinking NyQuil severe cough?
What?
What do long beards have in common
How are you?
with getting a blowjob after drinking NyQuil severe cough?
Tell me.
What?
ZZ Top.
Bucket joke. Oh, that was good. Those were some great bucket jokes.
Have you ever fallen asleep during a blowjob? This happened to me once, and it's a weird thing.
No, I fell asleep making out once. That was about it.
I've definitely fallen asleep making out for sure. Yeah.
I mean, making out can get really boring, but I mean, usually blowjobs aren't boring, but you know.
Yeah, they're not usually boring. No.
Yeah.
Falling asleep now.
No. But anyways, hey, it's the end of the show. So
we did
thank
it.
you, Dan.
We made it
You
through.
made it all the way through. Your penance is over.
Yeah.
You're released into the world to never have to think about Buckethead again.
If you don't want to, but you can if you want to. I mean, if you want, that self-flagellation,
you can bucket your own head.
self-fellatio, whichever you want.
I'm supposed to go meet up with a friend of mine at a bar right now, and I'm just like such a ticking time bomb of saying the phrase "less clay pilled." I just
that's what we love to
so
hear.
bad.
You're just gonna show up and they're like, "Hey, Dan, how you been? Les Claypill? Fuck,
I'm too Les Claypill.
This is
God damn it!
This is like someone that I work with every once in a while, and I'm gonna have to see them again later, and
they're gonna be like, "Who's Les Claypool?" And then you're gonna be like, "Oh man, have I got a lot to tell you?"
They're gonna be like, "Oh, so I heard you were doing a podcast tonight. What was that about?"
Like, we gotta talk about Primus, my friend.
Yeah.
I only want one thing, and it starts with a P and ends with an S.
Hell yeah, baby.
Yeah, Primus,
listen,
baby.
Anyways, when the day comes that I get a proper fretless 6-string bass with a Kaler bridge on it, we'll fire it up and we'll do Sailing the Seas of Cheese front to back, because why the fuck not?
Fair.
Love it.
Fair.
Love it. Why not? Well, anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
you
We
so
really
much
appreciate it.
for
It's been
having
great.
Do you have any plugs besides like yourself? Where can we find you online?
Oh shit. Okay, actually, I do have one plug for you. So, my name is Dan Bones. I'm easy enough to find on Instagram at Dan Bones, which is very easy. This week, I just finished animating a music video that I've been working on since April, and it is officially done. It is going to be premiering very soon, I hope. I'm not the one in charge of the details of when it's going to premiere, but it's for a band called Red Fiction. It's super heavy. It's very saxophone forward. So,
nice. We love it. We love a heavy sax.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like all the illustrations for it were done by this guy named Chris Waldrop, who is a phenomenal illustrator. And then I had the task of animating the whole thing, and it looks sick. I'm actually like really proud of it. So I'm really excited that that's going to be out in the world soon. So there's a band called Red Fiction putting out a music video for a song called Clone 13 that I just animated, and I'm like super pumped that that'll be out in the world really soon. So
that is super tight. I can't wait to check it out. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I will
Where
send.
can you
I
find you,
will.
Spenser?
I will send you a link.
Please, thank you.
Excellent.
I appreciate that. You can follow me. Just go to my website, spenser.zone. Gives you all my links.
Neat.
SPNSER.zone. Spenser.zone. Ah!
Sick.
Brit, what about you?
You can find me on all socials at Dog Vorbis or at a Bucketcast.
Yeah.
Say hello, you know?
Say hello. Say what's up. You can give us a phone call if you want.
Our number is 425-310-2416.
I don't think it's 2416.
I think it's 2416.
It could be. Yeah.
I think I'm right.
You probably are. Let me just double check. I can never remember the phone number.
425-310-2456.
24116.
That's what I said the first time.
Yeah, you were right. So
2416. Yep.
So let's say it together. 425-310-2416. Wow. But yeah, give us a phone call. Give us a message. We would love to hear it. Anyways, that's the show.
I am still and have always been Brit and Ryan Straw.
And I'm Spenser.
And I am Dan Bones. Thank you for having me.
And you've been listening to Gettin' Head, a Bucketcast.
A Bucketcast.
Stay greasy, Bucketheads.
Namaste.